Max Verstappen stays with Red Bull. What it means for F1 2026. Max Verstappen's commitment to Red Bull, a clear future amid speculation. Max Verstappen has officially announced that he will continue his journey with Red Bull for the upcoming 2026 Formula One season, effectively putting an end to the swirling rumors regarding his future with the team, at least for now. For several months, there has been intense speculation about where the talented Dutch driver would be racing next season. Many pundits and fans alike have linked Verstappen to a potential move to Mercedes, despite the fact that he is under contract with Red Bull until 2028. However, the four-time world champion has decisively addressed these rumors, confirming his intention to stay with Red Bull during a press conference held ahead of this weekend's Hungarian Grand Prix. Some individuals thrive on creating drama and stirring the pot. For me, the situation has always been clear. And that clarity extends into next year, Verstappen stated to reporters on Thursday. He further elaborated, saying, "I'm already in discussions with the team about our plans and the changes we want to implement for next year, which clearly indicates that I will be remaining with the team. This season has already been marked by significant changes at Red Bull, highlighted by the recent dismissal of long-serving team principal Christian Horner, who was let go after 2 decades of successful leadership. Despite the ongoing speculation about Verstappen's potential departure, Horner had consistently expressed confidence that the 27-year-old driver would continue with the team. Yet, the rumors persisted, fueled by reports of interest from Mercedes. The situation was further complicated when the yachts of Verstappen and Mercedes team principal, Toto Wolff, were spotted in close proximity while in Sardinia, igniting further speculation. Verstappen was quick to dismiss these rumors, stating, "If my boat is next to Toto's, then it's just next to Toto's. You can maintain a personal relationship with someone even if you don't work together." Now, Verstappen has definitively squashed any notions of a move, confirming his commitment to Red Bull for the 2026 season. On the racing front, this year has been somewhat disappointing for both Verstappen and the Red Bull team. Currently, Verstappen is positioned third in the Drivers' Championship, trailing leader Oscar Piastri of McLaren by 81 points. Meanwhile, Red Bull finds itself in fourth place in the constructors' standings, behind McLaren, Ferrari, and Mercedes. But here's where it gets controversial. With such a competitive field, can Red Bull regain its former glory? What do you think about Verstappen's decision to stay? Is it a wise choice, or should he have explored other options? Share your thoughts in the comments. How Red Bull adjusts to F1 life after Christian Horner. It was a shock to me. Sometimes the unthinkable happens, and the F1 world is still reeling. Red Bull Racing is facing a new reality, life on the track without Christian Horner. But here's where it gets controversial. Can a team that's been shaped for 2 decades by one man survive a seismic leadership change and thrive? That's the question Red Bull now must answer in the high-stakes, high-speed cauldron of Formula One. Spa Belgium. Max Verstappen's most welcome update for the Belgian Grand Prix this weekend wasn't a car part. It was a media microphone setup. After the chaotic, viral press scrum at Silverstone, Verstappen gave his post-Horner remarks from a bit more breathing room. Still, that didn't prevent the team's hospitality suite from being jam-packed with journalists. Everyone hungry for Verstappen's first public reaction since the abrupt departure of the only team boss he's ever raced under at Red Bull. Verstappen was the first senior member of Red Bull to break the silence. While the new team principal, Laurent Mekies, was scheduled for his own press briefing a day later, and Red Bull GmbH executive Oliver Mintzlaff kept out of sight, all eyes were on Verstappen. The 4-time world champion stayed composed, answering every question with professional courtesy, though clearly choosing his words, especially when it came to the private discussions with shareholders like Mintzlaff and majority owner Chelem Uvidya. He made it clear the priority was moving forward, not looking back. And this is the part most people miss. While attention focused on technical upgrades and new leaders, the challenge ahead isn't as simple as swapping out car parts or team personnel. Red Bull is tasked with building a new chapter from scratch, starting a post-Horner era, reversing recent setbacks, rallying behind Verstappen, and hoping he remains at the heart of their future. The sudden shift at the helm, murmurs, rumors, and no real transparency. Red Bull's parent company, Red Bull GmbH, announced that Christian Horner had been relieved of operational duties. And that's about as specific as it got. The timing took everyone off guard. Verstappen learned of Horner's exit just hours before it became public. Teammate Yuki Tsunoda only got word the following morning from Red Bull's motorsport advisor, Helmut Marko, who offered little explanation. "That's basically all I can say," Tsunoda added bluntly, echoing the confusion swirling through the paddock. Other drivers, like Isaac Hadjar and Liam Lawson, now under the Racing Bulls banner, also learned about their new boss early the same day, expressing confidence in both Mekies and his Racing Bulls successor, Alan Permane. Mekies himself recounted the surprise of receiving a call from Mintzlaff and Marko only hours before the public announcement. With no insight into the reasons or timing behind Horner's removal. "The reality is, we never talked about why or why now," Mekies admitted. The request for him to step up as team principal was out of the blue, an honor he struggled to process at first, but ultimately accepted as a rare professional opportunity. Horner's absence this weekend marks the first time since 2004 he hasn't been present at a Red Bull race. Still, he continued to reach out to colleagues, including Mekies, with supportive messages. Mekies described these interactions as warm and positive, a testament to Horner's lasting influence even off the grid. A team in transition, emotion ran high when Horner bid farewell to factory staff, a vivid reminder of his emotional investment in the team he helped build from the ground up. Despite recent turmoil, including a high-profile investigation and persistent infighting, Horner inspired fierce loyalty across Red Bull. For 20 years, Horner's drive to control all aspects of the team was legendary, and some say that drive ultimately prompted the shareholders to seek a new direction. Under his guidance, Red Bull claimed 8 drivers' championships and 7 constructors' titles, establishing a winning culture that persists today. His personal connections remain strong, as evidenced by the many he kept in contact with following his exit. Chief Engineer Paul Monahan, an almost constant teammate throughout Horner's reign, summed up the general mood. "It was a shock to me," he revealed, before reflecting on the unprecedented success they'd shared. "It's sad. He gave so much of his life to the team. Now, it's on us to unite." Monahan recognizes that the other 9 F1 teams are waiting for any sign of Red Bull weakness. "If we want to stay ahead, unity is vital. Laurent is working hard to foster that." Mekies admitted those first 24 hours post-announcement were a big adjustment. No one saw it coming. Despite the shock, he praised the way the team has rallied around each other, facing a future without the only boss many had ever known. Can Laurent Mekies fill the void? Replacing an iconic, sometimes divisive leader like Horner is no small feat. Even rivals, including Mercedes boss Toto Wolff, noted that Horner's polarizing charisma added excitement and drama to the F1 narrative. Laurent Mekies is under no illusion. "No one can imitate Christian," he stated. "My job is to serve as CEO and team principal." Mekies was careful on this. "It's early to talk structure," he noted, but promised to eliminate any organizational bottlenecks to keep the team agile and focused. He also emphasized the spirit and energetic culture at Red Bull, a work hard, play hard ethos fostered by Horner, and one aspect Mekies wants to continue. However, he's just as keen to cut out the external noise and focus on racing after so much turmoil. That's an early and critical milestone for his new leadership. All eyes on Verstappen's future. Let's get candid. The most pressing question now for Red Bull isn't just winning races, it's keeping Max Verstappen on board. The reigning world champion is contracted through 2028, but rumors continue swirling about possible moves, even as soon as next year, with Mercedes reportedly interested. Verstappen was typically enigmatic when asked if Horner's exit would affect his decision. "There's always a chance I don't wake up tomorrow," he quipped, a stoic reminder that nothing in life, or F1, is guaranteed. Mekis is pragmatic. He believes as long as Verstappen has a car fast enough to fight for wins and championships, the champion will stay. All Max wants is a competitive. Nico Rosberg's tense exchange with Jos Verstappen. Belgian GP drama unveiled. A recent exchange between Nico Rosberg and Jos Verstappen during the Belgian Grand Prix has stirred quite a bit of conversation in the Formula One community. Rosberg brought up a comment made by Verstappen last year regarding Christian Horner, the former team principal of Red Bull Racing. Rosberg quoted, "Last year you said Christian Horner needs to go because it would destroy the team." In a swift response, Jos Verstappen dismissed the inquiry, stating, "That was last year. It's different. I have nothing to say." This brief yet tense interaction quickly gained traction on social media, prompting Rosberg to share his thoughts during a podcast episode of the Sky Sports F1 show. "First of all, it's great to see that people enjoyed our little moment, which is really what this sport is all about, isn't it?" Rosberg remarked. "Formula One thrives on these kinds of interactions. I don't intend to create drama. I simply aim to ask questions that might pique interest among fans and viewers." On July 9th, Red Bull Racing made headlines by announcing that Horner had been replaced as team principal and CEO, effective immediately. Laurent Mekis, the chief of the Racing Bulls team, has taken over this pivotal role, with the Belgian Grand Prix marking his debut race in charge of the Milton Keynes-based team. Following the news of Horner's sudden departure, speculation arose regarding the involvement of the Verstappen family in this decision, but it has since been clarified that they were not part of the discussions. Rosberg elaborated, saying, "I don't believe the Verstappen camp had any influence on Horner's exit." It seems to me that Red Bull recognized that too much talent was leading the team under Horner's leadership. There was a concerning trend of key talents departing, which likely contributed to a negative spiral for Red Bull over the past year and a half. Therefore, it was time for a fresh start, a chance for Red Bull to regain control and rebuild. Max Verstappen, a four-time world champion, confirmed that the decision to change leadership came from the management and shareholders of Red Bull. Naturally, there have been periods where things didn't go as planned, and I think the last year and a half have been challenging. Management felt it was time to steer the ship in a new direction, and everyone involved must accept that and look ahead. This situation raises intriguing questions about the dynamics within Formula One teams and the influence of drivers and their families on management decisions. What do you think about the role of drivers in team leadership changes? Do you believe that the Verstappen family had any sway in Horner's departure? Share your thoughts in the comments.